Today's sponsor is Old Glory. Go to oldglory.com, use the promo code ATI Wrestling, and receive 15% off. They have sports jerseys, retro band jerseys, and more. Go check them out at oldglory.com. Welcome in, Nick Hunter. I'm the brilliant one, and this is the weekend preview. We are at Wrestlemania weekend. Nick Hunter, what's going on?
What's going on, Brandon? How you doing today, man?
Man, I'm doing great. You know, it's Wrestlemania weekend. I'm going to dive into that a little bit more. Check us out. Subscribe to us right here on YouTube. You want to be informed here on Around the Indies. Go check us out at ProWrestlingTees.com. Get a an Around the Indies T-shirt. If you want to be styling and profiling at your next independent wrestling event. Also, check us out on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Spreaker, Amazon Music, and Audible. Give us that 5-star rating on Apple Podcasts. Let's jump right in. I just want to jump in before we even get anything going. We got flyers from fans. We got several flyers from fans, mostly Friday night shows in Vegas. We're talking about the week of WrestleMania. It's a big week for independent wrestling, WrestleMania weekend. The thing is, this year and in the last couple of years, you know, Friday night and Saturday night were big nights for independent wrestling shows on WrestleMania weekend. Well, now WrestleMania is 2 nights, kind of cuts it down a little bit, doesn't it?
It definitely does, especially in the area. You know, like those promotions that are renting out buildings in the area and stuff like that. They're kind of hogtied, on the Saturday thing because, I mean, you're not
Yeah,
gonna you don't want to compete with WrestleMania, you know.
well, you definitely don't want to compete with them if you're in the area. But then you're looking at Fridays, and a lot of these shows, like we're going to get into it, Pro Wrestling Cartel or Texas Wrestling Cartel.
Wrestling
I'm
cartel.
sorry,
Yeah, you're okay.
they're running at 1:30 in the afternoon on a Friday in Las Vegas, WrestleMania weekend. Because I mean,
SmackDown,
SmackDown's that night.
Hall of
You get
Fame that night.
Hall of Fame that night. You got so much stuff going on that night that the fans, like, the indie weekend used to be so great. It used to be fun. Like WrestleMania was on Sunday. You get to come in, you get to do all this fun stuff, and now it's just kind of like WWE's like, well, we're going to take up the whole weekend. We're going to make sure that you know people that get to go see WWE, they're going to go see WrestleMania. They're going to pay the money to see it. I think it takes a little bit away from WrestleMania weekend now with the independent scene, which used to be so big on WrestleMania weekend.
I mean, I definitely see where you're coming from there. I definitely do. It does cut it down. It does cut it down a lot, especially taking away Saturday. You know, you don't want to compete with WrestleMania and stuff like that. But despite all all the that stuff there, I mean, we still have a pretty packed weekend this weekend, especially in Vegas. And but we do have some flyers from around our area and around the country,
Yeah,
to get into, right?
we do. We do. We got one this Saturday night, Crusade Pro Wrestling, which I'll be involved in. That's night one of WrestleMania, but we're in Mississippi, so it's not the big of a deal as it would be in Vegas. But Friday
Mm.
night, we're going to start it out. Bell times at 4 p.m. But it is title fights in Vegas, and who's bringing this to you, Nick Hunter?
Well, this is Deadlock Pro Wrestling. Ladies and gentlemen, if you're familiar with the Deadlock Wrestling podcast, um, they have a promotion. They have been running some really good shows. It's been kind of the talk of the wrestling world, so to speak, for a little while. Especially the internet fans. A lot of people online talking about it and everything like that. And they deliver pretty good shows. They deliver pretty good shows from everything I've seen. I've never been able to watch one from start to finish, but from what I have seen, very, very good shows.
Yeah, it is. And man, one of the matches, now I don't have all the match graphics for the show, but we do have a match graphic for one that's going to crown the DPW World Champion, the sixth DPW World Champion. And it's called Ultimate Conflict. There's 12 men in it. Nick Hunter, I'm just going to say this. We got Titus Alexander. We got Calvin Tankman. We got Adam Priest. We got Brian Keith, Luke Jacobs, Kevin Blackwood, one of my favorites, Matt Tremont, Trevor Lee, Michael Oku. Is that correct?
I do believe so. Yes.
Thomas Schreier, Mad Dog Connolly, one of your boys, and BK Westbrook. What's your thoughts on this? Who's going to become the 6-time DPW champion?
Well, honestly, I mean, you throw this many guys in the ring, I think it's definitely a wild card, for sure. We talk about how things can get crazy, in say a fatal four way. I mean, this is that, you know, going crazy. There may be only three times the amount of guys in this match that there would be in a fatal four way, but I can imagine that the chaos of this match would be times 1,000 of a fatal four way. I mean, you've got a lot of really good guys in this match. You've got a lot of guys who've proven themselves on the indie scene. You've got guys like Calvin Tankman. You got guys like Brian Keith, who've had opportunities up on the and Trevor Lee. Not to forget
Well,
Trevor
well,
Lee.
Brian Keith got praised by Chris Jericho at one point.
Yes,
You
yes,
know,
he did. He's under Chris Jericho's learning tree now.
I mean, it's crazy. You got Blackwood, who I personally watched. I've enjoyed for the years. He's done some stuff in AEW. Adam Priest just been killing it on the independent scene. Calvin Tankman, like you said, Titus Alexander as well. I mean,
Yes,
you
sir.
look at this, and Mad Dog, your boy, Mad Dog
Mhm.
Connolly, up in this match, which I believe this past Saturday night at Sink or Swim for TWE. What happened with him and Cousin Condry? Because I know you checked it out.
I was only able to see a few clips. I have not subscribed to IWTV, sadly. I've been waiting on my next paycheck and stuff like that. But uh, I have seen clips, and it was exactly what I expected out of those two guys. They beat each other up. Uh, Mad Dog gave Cousin Condry a gut wrench suplex on the concrete floor in the TWE arena. I would love to check out the full match whenever I can get my hands on it, whether that be through YouTube, whether it be subscribing to IWTV. Um, but there's a lot of really good guys in this match that can give Mad Dog a run for his money. I'm a big believer in Mad Dog, but I mean, he's going to be in there. Trevor Lee, the former Cameron Grimes
Oh
in
yeah.
WWE. I mean, Adam Pierce, Priest, excuse me. He's been making a big name for himself on the Indies, doing some stuff with AEW. Brian Keith, right now, he's been on AEW, a fixture on AEW television, if you will. If you will go that far. And I mean, so many good guys here. Michael Oku, he did some work in New Japan, team with the likes of Hiroshi Tanahashi, if I'm not mistaken. I mean, these are guys with a wealth of experience. I mean, just in this match right here, wealth of experience. I can't wait to see who's going to walk out DPW World Champion.
Exactly. And you talk about sink or swim the other night too. Let's go back to that for just a second, and then I'll hit back one more time on Deadlock Pro. But we had Big Booty Judy on the podcast Saturday, hours before her match with Big City. It was her and Country Boy Hoots having a Hoots,
Coops.
yeah, having a match on there, and we're going to check that out. We may review that later on in the week, next week or whatever. We'll see. But don't forget, Deadlock Pros title fight in Vegas this Friday, WrestleMania weekend. It's going to be awesome. Bell time is 4 p.m. Doors open at 3:30. You're going to want to check that out. So make sure you do. Up next, we've got Texas Wrestling Cartels. They're presenting Mob Ties come Saturday or Friday night, and it's going to be bell time. I think it's 1:30 p.m. 1:30 on Friday is bell time for Mob Ties. Now we know one of our favorites, one of our boys, none other than Eddie Martinez is going to be out there. what's Eddie doing at Mob Ties and Texas Wrestling Cartel?
I believe that this is for the Texas Wrestling Cartel heavyweight championship, if I'm not mistaken. Let me do some checking of my notes here, but I do believe that it is for the championship against uh Cappuccino Jones, the WWE ID prospect, is going to be coming to Texas Wrestling Cartel, and I mean he's going to be coming for
Cappuccino.
that title.
What's he doing? Drinking a coffee?
I, I don't know. He's cold brew, that's what I know. Cold brew Jones, and you know, hey man,
Well, let me ask you this. I want to get into the WWID prospect thing here in the future, but here on this show here in just a little bit. But let's check this out. One of the matches on there is for the Texas Wrestling Cartel Tag Team Championship. I mean, you got Kenta and Owens, you got the Wagner brothers and more. It's a fatal four way like tag team match. That's going to be very interesting to see Friday tomorrow actually WrestleMania weekend from Texas Wrestling Cartel. What's your thoughts on that match and how that looks?
man, that is gonna be one to watch right there. That alone is worth the price of admission, in my opinion. I mean, come on now, Kenta and Chase Owens,
Yeah,
tag team champions.
and Big Booty Judy. I had her on the podcast just Saturday. She was talking about her first match. Her first legit match was against Chase Owens. Now, like you get into the wrestling business, you train, and your first match is against Chase Owens. That's unbelievable there.
That is unbelievable. That is really unbelievable. I mean, what a talent Chase Owens is. I mean, to be wrestling him in your first match, I mean, that's a test right there. That's real test right there. So
It
I mean,
really
hey,
is. Next
yeah,
up, we got another WWID prospect taking on in this thing called Six in the Cup. Or no, I'm sorry,
six in the six in the clip.
Six in the Clip. Got Kerry Morton in it and a
Mhm.
couple other people. I mean, that's going to be an interesting deal. You're going to want to check out uh, Pro Wrestling Cartel or Texas. I'm sorry, I'm tongue tied. Texas
You're good.
Wrestling Cartel's Mob Ties tomorrow at 1:30 p.m. Be there if you're in Las Vegas. You want to check out tickets. Uh, there's the address right there. Make sure
And
you get onto it and check out Mob Ties.
and Brian Keith, he's gonna be doing a double shot. By the way, he's gonna be not only at Deadlock Pro later in the evening, but he is also going to be at Mob Ties as well. He's going to be in a Fatal Four Way, believe it or not.
Fatal Four Way. Look at
Hmm.
that. Check that out. I mean, WrestleMania weekend, you're going to see a plethora of independent talent. Now, coming up not too far from us tomorrow night as well, you're going to get Family Entertainment Wrestling. Nick Hunter, why don't you give us a good little deal on this? This is called Good Friday Throwdown. We're going to get into a couple of matches here, but Good Friday Throwdown. Tell us about Family Wrestling Entertainment or Entertainment Wrestling up in, is it Tupelo?
Yes, their next event is actually going to be in Tupelo. This is another one that I was really put onto by my good friend in North Mississippi as well. Um, So, Family Entertainment Wrestling, as far as I'm aware, they've just recently started running shows. And right now they have got their heavyweight champion, Chris Styles, is going to be taking on JT Williams for the heavyweight title.
Yes.
Uh, we also have, just checking my notes here, we also are going to have the debut of the Twins of Salem. The Twins of Salem have made a big impact in that area so far in the EPW tag team ranks. I believe that at one point they held the EPW tag team championships. Um, uh, I even saw them in a match. I believe they picked up the victory. Please, somebody correct me if I'm wrong, but It was a fatal four-way match on EPW TV that was shown to me by my good friend up there. And he showed me this fatal four-way match where the Twins of Salem were involved, and they actually picked up the win in a fatal four-way tag match, and it was for an opportunity to face the NWA United States Tag Team Champions. I'm not aware of the results of that match, but I mean that's a big time opportunity there. So these two guys here, they're no slouch, not at all.
Yep, that's going to be Friday night. Is going to be called Good Friday Throwdown. It's Family Entertainment Wrestling. It's out of Tupelo, Mississippi. You're going to want to check that out as well. Another one sent in by some of our fans up there, and like you said, the Salem Twins making their debut and
And
has already been
real
tearing it up. It looks like.
yeah, real quick, another tag team that I want to shout out. It's not announced yet any matches, any tag team matches, but these two could cross paths. In FEW, a tag team I want to shine a light on real quick is a tag team called Parental Advisory. Um, this is Hunter Dabbs and Dakota Gage, two young men who've been tearing it up in that area so far. I mean, um, Hunter Dabbs is a guy who, you know, I'd heard a lot of really good things about him, and whenever I saw him, he lived up to the hype. I mean, this is a guy, he's an outstanding wrestler. He can go. And Dakota Gage is, a great tag team partner for him. I mean, because he's on that level as well. And these two guys can really go. They're great tag team wrestlers. And I mean, you want to see all of these guys in person. So go ahead. If you're in the area, check out Family Entertainment Wrestling.
Yes, you want to check it out. And also, I mean, we're coming up right now. We're going to finish our last show on Friday night. That will be on, I believe it's going to be on IWTV if I'm not mistaken. If I am, I'm sorry, but it's PWF Mania Mayhem. I believe I'm going to tune in and watch this on Friday night. I think it's at 7:30. It's at the Houston Premier Arena, which, if I'm not mistaken, you've been there, right?
I have not.
You haven't? Okay.
I know a few people who have been there. Your client Vladimir Koloff has been there a couple times. Yes, no.
Yeah, he has. He's been there a few times. He's held the AWA Heavyweight Championship for a while, and I think he defended it at AWA in Houston at the Houston Premier Arena when it was going on. Now he goes to Maryland a lot with that. So
Mhm. And
they're going to have the,
that is Assault Wrestling Alliance, right?
yes, Assault Wrestling Alliance, not the promotion that owns. But it's PWF Mania Mayhem, and it's looking like this one's going to shape up to be really good. I got some good match lineups. We're going to talk about that, and we're going to probably go ahead and start it out because I've got a good little deal. Let's go ahead and start out with a tag team match. This is going to be for the PWF Tag Team Championships. Now, this is This is champions versus champions. Let me look at my notes here. It is the PWF Tag Team Champions, the Bulldogs, taking on the ACW Tag Team Champions and Most Wanted. This is going to be an interesting matchup. It is for the PWF Tag Team Championships, though. Looks like it's going to be an incredible match. What's your thoughts on this one?
Oh, this is definitely going to be a great one. I feel like this is definitely going to be great. I mean, whenever you can get two champions of this sport going up against each other, especially in tag team competition, it always is great. I mean, I got a special place in my heart for tag team wrestling. I mean, I believe that tag team wrestling, whenever it can be done right, is fantastic to watch. I love it. And these are two tag teams that can deliver that in spades.
Agreed. So it's going to be interesting to see how that is. Up next, we've been in the locker room with both of these guys. We've been around both of these guys. It's going to be AWOL taking on Mason Malice. Now, back in 2021, you was refing a show in, I think it was Combat Wrestling League back in Waynesboro, Mississippi. Mason Malice was on the show. AWOL was on the show. This is going to be an intense matchup, and it's a hardcore matchup. It's called a full mayhem matchup. Should be very interesting.
I did believe that the name Mason Malice was, yeah, I did believe that was a familiar name. I Yeah, I do remember him. I remember that show very vividly. I mean, and that's gonna be insane.
It,
Especially
it,
with the full mayhem attached to it, that's gonna be crazy.
it really is. And we still got Crusade Pro coming up. We're going to talk full about Poplarville, Mississippi, Saturday night. It's their debut show. We're going to talk about that. Up next, though, is the Lucha Champion. I believe it is. Yeah, PWF Lucha Champion, Little Poppy, taking on, is it Raxo? R A
Yes, that's what
K
it looks
Z O?
like. Yes, sir. That is what it looks like. Rexo.
This should be an interesting match. Looks like it's going to probably get a little wild. Uh,
Mhm.
will be very interesting. Up next, though, we got somebody we do know, and I've seen the other guy very much so, is LC Moxley taking on Corey Constantine. This should be a very interesting match. This is one of the matches that is getting me to tune in Friday night on IWTV and checking this out because it's going to be on
L-
IWTV live.
LC Mox. I thought it was LC Mox.
What did I say?
LC Moxley, like John Moxley.
Oh, yeah, I did say Mox.
Yeah,
LC Mox. That's what it is.
gotcha.
I'm
Yeah.
sorry.
No, you're all good. Hey, and this is definitely gonna be a good one. This is definitely this will be my introduction to LC Mox. I'll have to admit. But in the ring against a guy like Corey Constantine, I mean that's gonna be one to watch. That's definitely gonna be one to watch. That's all I can say about it. It's gonna be one to watch. I mean, because I
Yeah,
mean,
keep your eye on it for sure.
yes,
Keep your eye.
absolutely.
Up next, we got a triple threat hardcore women's championship match for the Premier Women's Championship. It's a triple threat hardcore match. You got Shay Carmichael, who's the
There's your
champion.
girl. It's your
That's
girl.
it. That is. And I think she's one of the top talents. I'm going to try to get her on her indie limelight soon. And then you got Zay Gold and Haley Danielle. This should be a very interesting match.
Are
It's
you sure that
WrestleMania weekend. You're in Houston. You're going to get to check this match out, or you can watch it on IWTV.
Are you sure that's Zagold? I think it's Zygold. It looks like a
Zygo,
Z
Zay. I'm
Z
sorry,
Y
Zy.
to me.
Look at
No,
me. Look at me.
it may, hey, it may be. I'm not sure.
No, it's Zy. It's ZY.
Ah,
Yeah.
gotcha. Okay. Uh, but yeah, this is gonna be interesting. Definitely. I mean, your girl, Shay Carmichael. You've talked very highly about her, and I see exactly why you do. This is gonna be a great match between these three. I mean, I cannot wait to see who comes out on top in this one. And hey, maybe Shay will walk out victorious. But I mean, remember this triple threat. This is three way. Like she may not have to get pinned to
To
lose
lose
that
the
belt.
title. Yeah. She will not have to get pinned to lose the title. And then we got our final match of the night for PWF Mania Mayhem, which you're gonna, like I said, you can check it out on IWTV Live. It's a triple threat match. Now I don't know if there's a title on the line. I just know it's a triple threat match. Shawn Hendricks versus Roger Vick versus Justin Tyler. Not too familiar with any of these three. We're gonna try to get familiar with them tomorrow night on IWTV when we watch this live. So that's my only thoughts on it. Nick Hunter, are you familiar with any of these? What's your thoughts?
The name Justin Tyler does sound familiar, but I cannot say with 100% certainty that I have seen these any of these three wrestle before. So I would love to see how this is going to turn out. I can't wait. I can't wait to see. I love seeing new wrestlers, new faces, and hey, I'm ready.
Yeah, it's going to be awesome. Check it out. If you're in the Houston area, go to Houston Premier Arena and check it out live, or you can watch it on IWTV live. Either way, you're not going to want to miss that. That's going to be a fun show to watch as PWF. And they always put on some good shows from what I've seen. I used to watch them on IWTV a lot when they'd be on Friday nights, like bi-weekly or whatever. So looking forward to Friday night. Getting to check them out. And We're going to get into Saturday here in just a second, Nick Hunter. But before we do, we do have to pay a little bit of bills. Like I say, go check out oldglory.com. Use the promo code ATI Wrestling. Receive 15% off anything. I mean, you got retro band t-shirts, you got sports teams, college pros, all that. You're going to want to check them out and, you know, use that promo code ATI Wrestling and get 15% off. Also, strongcoffeecompany.com. Use the promo code ATI Wrestling, receive 20% off any product on their website. They're great sponsors, and we enjoy, being able to feature them here on Around the Indies Weekend Preview. And coming up is Saturday, which is going to be unbelievable. Let's get into our first show. Is XIW, and it's going to have Steve Anthony on it. Steve Anthony making the
Mhm.
trip to Panama City, and I'm not sure who he's taking on here, but it's going to be an interesting matchup. What's your thoughts? Have you checked out any XIW? I've seen clips, I've seen stuff about them. I've just not went to a show or watched the
Mhm.
full show.
Yeah, I'm in the same boat as you. I've never been to an XIW show, but I have definitely seen, some. I've definitely seen things about them, and what they're doing, their matches. Steve Anthony gonna be on there. Uh, that's a top tier talent. You know what I mean? That's a
Oh,
top tier talent. So you're
no,
gonna want to
no
see.
doubt.
Oh yeah, you're gonna want to see him. You're gonna want to see this show. I mean, if he's gonna be there, you're gonna want to see it. I mean,
Yeah,
this match right here.
anytime Steve Anthony's on something, you're going to want to see it. Let's jump into a couple of the matches and look at it. We got Malik, is it Avalon taking on Big Sal Del Torre? Now, this was sent to us by a fan as well. This looks like it's going to be a pretty hardcore match there. I don't think you're going to want to miss that. Check it out. We've also got Ray Fury is taking on Ray Fury and Lucha Lacora is in a matchup. You're going to want to check that out as well. This is Panama City. Bell time is 5 p.m. Doors open at 4 p.m. This is night one of WrestleMania. I think what they're doing is they're getting everybody in there at 5 p.m. We're going to do a 5 p.m. bell time so everybody can watch the show, get home and check out some of WrestleMania night one as well. And then one of the other matches on this show. Let me go ahead and say it's not matches. It's a debut. David Young will make his debut at XIW this weekend. So make sure you check that out. Now, we're about to jump into Crusade Pro, which is the last one we're going to talk about tonight. This is the Flyers we got this week, but Crusade Pro making their debut, and it's looking like a fantastic debut. It's in
Hmm.
Poplarville. It's going to be interesting. Let's check this out. Here's the flyer. It's called Destiny, Crusade Pro Destiny. Now, Christian Blake is on the poster. He did have an emergency, so he will not be there Saturday night. But there has been a replacement for him, Steve O'Malley, who's been known to us around the independent wrestling scene. He will be taking on none other than, guess who? Hunter
Our good buddy.
Hendricks.
Yes, sir.
Yes, one of the fans of around the Indies, Hunter Hendricks, the prodigy himself, will be taking on Steve O'Malley come Saturday night. He did have a date with Christian Blake. Some things happened. That's why card subject to change in the independent wrestling scene. But Hunter Hendricks will get Steve O'Malley, who is a veteran on the independent scene in this area. So this is not going to be, Christian Blake, Hunter Hendricks was going to be fireworks. And then Christian couldn't make it. You get Steve O'Malley, it's still fireworks. Steve O'Malley, one of those tough, gritty guys. But I just want you to know before we jump into that, and I'll let you go ahead and speak your words on Steve O'Malley, and then we're going to hear from Hunter Hendricks.
All right. Steve O'Malley is going to be a great test to Mr. Hendricks. With all due respect to Mr. Hendricks, Steve O'Malley's been around a long time. I mean, he's been around this area a long time. He knows every trick in the book. And knowing Hunter Hendricks, he's gonna pull out some tricks. He's gonna pull out some tricks. You know Hunter Hendricks. I know Hunter Hendricks. He's gonna try to pull out some tricks, but Steve O'Malley knows every trick in the book. So it's gonna be very interesting to see how that one turns out this Saturday night. Uh, Crusade Pro, Poplarville, Mississippi. You're definitely gonna want to see that match, and and many more.
Now,
But we'll get into that in just a second.
yeah, we're going to get into some more matches in just a second. But like I said, you want to get there. You want to be at the show. The brilliant one himself will be there. Thank you, baby. And we'll get to that in just a second. But let's hear what Hunter Hendricks had to say because he had some things to say about Steve O'Malley. So let's take it to Hunter.
Saturday, April 19th. Crusade Pro, the debut show, Destiny, at the National Guard Armory in Poplarville, Mississippi. Allow me to introduce myself. My name is the prodigy Hunter Hendricks. In case you live under a rock, you already knew that and you know who I am. Originally, I was scheduled to face Christian Blake, but due to a family matter, he's not going to make it. So Crusade Pro management had to find me a new opponent, and now they gave me Steve O'Malley. O'Malley, we've never shared a ring, but we've shared a couple locker rooms together, so we're no stranger to each other. But here's one thing I'm going to assure you that I'm going to do, the same thing I planned on doing to Christian Blake, and that's win. See, it is my destiny to show the Crusade fans what I'm all about. It is my destiny to show the Crusade management what I am all about. And it's my destiny to show every single person in Poplarville, Mississippi on April 19th exactly who the prodigy Hunter Hendricks is. So O'Malley, I'll see you in about a week and a half. Here are 4 more words for you that I'm going to let you sit on until April 19th. And that is, all prodigy, no apology.
No apologies, baby, from Hunter Hendricks. He's looking forward to his Crusade Pro debut. He's coming in to take on Steve O'Malley, which will be heck of a match, no doubt for sure. I'll just go ahead and say that. And then we talked about, you know, Crusade Pro just being the way it is this Saturday night. You got the debut. Several people coming into Crusade Pro, along with Crusade Pro making their debut in Poplarville. But I'm gonna just be honest with you. Never heard of these two guys, but it looks like it's going to be an interesting matchup when you get El Cacha versus Aries Creed. So you're going to want to be there in Poplarville Saturday night to check that match out as well. Correct, Nick Hunter?
Yes, absolutely. And hey, man, that's a part of what this show is about. We want to introduce our audience and each other to some new talent. I mean, to new talent on the indie scene. I mean, so I mean, hey, these two guys are definitely going to go in there and they're going to give it their all. You know what I mean? And these two guys, I mean, I'm not familiar with either of them, but I bet that these two guys are going to go out there and they're going to make sure that the audience in Poplarville, Mississippi this Saturday night is going to be familiar with them by the time they leave.
Agreed. Another one, Kid Lat versus Adonis Allen. Another one on par here at Destiny for Crusade Pro Saturday night. Not familiar with either one of these as well, but Kid Lat is out of Illinois making his Mississippi debut. So he's coming all the way from Illinois, making his debut in Mississippi with Crusade Pro in their first show. He's going to try to make himself a fixture in Crusade Pro on night one, which will be very interesting. And then we get to something we do know very well. We do know very well. The Nightmare, Jeremiah, taking on Jace Miles. Now, we've been around both these guys been around Nightmare for many shows, and we know how devastating Nightmare is. Jay Smiles just getting his start, been in the business a little bit over a year. He's going to get to take on Nightmare, which I'm going to play his promo. He's got a promo that where he talked about Nightmare. And before we get into your opinion on this match, I just want to play this promo because I got some things to say as well. So let's take it to Jay Smiles, see how confident he is this Saturday night in Poplarville.
Oh, don't mind me. I was just working out my Dorito back. But, alright! It is I, Jay Smiles. And April 19th, I will be making my debut at the debut show of Crusade Pro. And I will be going one-on-one with the Nightmare Jeremiah. Now, Nightmare, I have faced monsters in the past, but they say there's no monster like you. And I believe it. I have bored witness to all of the carnage and destruction that you're capable of. But I am looking forward to test my limits, to test the limits of the all-in-one. Everyone is telling me that I should run. Everyone is telling me that I should hide. Everyone is telling me that, Jay Smiles, you are gonna die. But I hope the Nightmare is ready because he's gonna get all of me. And maybe, oh, just maybe, I'll end that little streak of his. After all of Mississippi will bear witness.
All right, I like the kid's confidence, but like I said, we've been around Nightmare too many times. I don't know if this kid knows what he's walking into, and I don't know if he's walking out alive come Saturday night. I just don't. I mean, does he really know what kind of fight he's picking with Nightmare Jeremiah?
I gotta say, I mean, I like Jace. I like Jace. He's shown a lot of fire. He's shown a lot of will. Um, this is a guy right here who is confident, and I mean, kind of step one to the equation of beating nightmares. You need to be confident in yourself. That I think that's number one. Um, but I mean, nightmare is nightmare. At the end of the day, nightmare is nightmare. I mean,
There's going to be a murder in Poplarville Saturday night, and I believe it's going to be Jace Miles. I'm sorry. I like Jace too. But we just know how Nightmare is. He's not going to let up. And he's going to teach this young buck a lesson. It's just not going to be fun.
hey man, and as a guy we talked about last week on the show, James Ellsworth, as he once said, any man with two hands has a fighting chance.
Okay. Well, I mean, you can think that there's certain people that you just don't have a fighting chance with. And yeah, Nightmare is one of those. The main event that night, because you know the Brilliant One will be there in more ways than one Saturday night. This is going to be one of my main reasons. My client, Russian Destruction, Vladimir Koloff, will be taking on Geo Savage. We've been around Geo. We know that Geo is a rising star until Saturday night when he runs into Russian Destruction, baby.
Give Gio a little more than that now. Come on, man. I know you gotta talk up your
Do
client.
you
I know
not
that
see who is behind me on my screen here?
I I know where you're coming from. And hey, you asked me who I thought, who I thought was the best around here. I said Vladimir Koloff. All right.
Well, you had to
But
because there's no other choice but to say it. I mean,
let
that's the
hold on. Let me give Gio his props. All right. Gio is a guy, his nickname is the Instant Classic, man. You know what I mean? Come on. Come on. Give Gio his props, man. Gio has been working his tail off for years on the Mississippi independent scene, and this is a big opportunity. This is a big opportunity for Gio. I think he could prove his mettle with Vladimir Koloff. I mean, I know that they have faced off before. I like Gio in this one. I mean, but he's going to have to really bring it, for Vladimir Koloff. I will admit that.
Yeah, he is, but my client's always got something to say, and well, let's hear from Russian destruction himself, Vladimir Koloff.
Saturday, April 19th, in Poplarville, Mississippi, Crusade Pro has their inaugural event, and it pits Vladimir Koloff against Gio Savage. Now, Gio Savage, you and I have battled before, but it's been quite some time, and Vladimir Koloff will admit that since the last time we stepped into the ring together, Gio, you have improved by far as a competitor. But Gio Savage, as good as you may be, as improved as you may have become, you are still no match for Vladimir Koloff, the very best around, bar none. As far as I'm concerned, Gio Savage, I won't just beat you on Saturday, April 19th. I will make a statement to the entire Crusade Pro locker room that Vladimir Koloff will not stop until he is at the top of the mountain at Crusade Pro, until he is champion at Crusade Pro. Why? Because Crusade Pro needs more Koloff.
Well, now that we heard what Vladimir Koloff had to say, that's going to be an impressive match Saturday night. I'll be there front row and center for that one. So it should be interesting. Crusade Pro. We got XIW on Saturday. We got PWF, Texas Wrestling Cartel. We got Deadlock Pro, Family Entertainment Wrestling. That's all the shows this weekend. You're not going to want to miss those. Nick Hunter, before we close out on the shows this weekend and get into some other stuff and we pay some more bills, is there anything else you would like to say about Crusade Pro, Poplar Bill? This Saturday night you can get tickets at the door. I believe bell time is 7, doors open at 6.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, it's always exciting whenever a promotion opens its doors for the first time, whenever they have their first show. You're definitely not going to want to miss this one. This is going to be fantastic. There's a lot of talent involved. And I mean, you're going to see a lot of really good wrestling from Crusade Pro. So if you are in the South Mississippi area, if you are near Poplarville or in the surrounding area, you are going to want to buy a ticket and go and see Crusade Pro Saturday night.
Yes, you are. This episode is brought to you by StrongCoffeeCompany.com. Use the promo code ATI Wrestling and receive 20% off any item on the website. Also, this episode is brought to you by Old Glory. Go to oldglory.com. Put in the promo code ATI Wrestling and receive 15% off from them. They've got retro band t-shirts, sports teams from pros, college, all over. You're going to want to check out. Now, I do want to jump into something with you, Nick Hunter. We were talking about a WWE ID prospect deal. Now, how much do you know about this, and does it really mean anything?
Well, from what I am to understand, these guys and girls are on the pipeline now to NXT. I mean, these are people now who are going out and they are still wrestling on the independent scene. They're still gaining valuable experience in front of different crowds that will react to different things and things like that. And like they're going out there getting this experience with different opponents, all that different kind of stuff. And then they're bringing it back into the WWE system. That's my way of looking at it. These are people now who, they could make appearances on WWE Evolve. They could make appearances on NXT. get television exposure, streaming exposure. Um, and they're even going to have in Vegas this coming weekend. They are going to have a WWE ID. I believe it may just be the first round, but it may be the whole tournament. The WWE ID Championship tournament at one of these indie shows, in the area of Las Vegas.
Oh, wow. Well, I mean, I saw where WWE Evolve is on like Tubi. I hadn't checked it out
Yes.
yet. Have you seen any episodes or anything of it?
I have not really. I've seen uh I've seen a few things. I've seen clips. I have not. Tubi is free. But
Yeah.
I haven't been able to really sit down and watch Evolve. I watch so much wrestling throughout the week that sometimes there's a lot of things that will end up slipping through the cracks. But uh, if you want to know more about these WWE ID prospects, all you gotta do is go on Evolve. Watch Evolve on Tubi. Like I said, it's free. Um, but I mean, they do have some quality talent. I mean, I believe two guys that are WWE ID. They're not officially signed to WWE. Is a tag team called Swipe Right. Brad
Yeah, I remember
Baylor.
you mentioned him. Yeah.
Yeah, Brad Baylor and there's another one whose name kind of slips my mind. But them and a guy by the name of Jackson Drake, who Jackson Drake, I saw a clip of him a few years ago. I believe it was back when he started training. He did a seminar with Dax from FTR. And him and Dax, the clip was from, I believe, Firestar Pro Wrestling in North Carolina. And he was going hold for hold with Dax Harwood from FTR, who, as you and I know, or maybe this is just my opinion,
Phenomenal.
but
He's
yeah,
phenomenal. Yeah.
yeah, phenomenal wrestler. Okay, so it is both of our opinions, as you know and I know, phenomenal wrestler. And that's a guy that's got a lot of potential who's in this WWE ID program right now. I'm a big fan of Jackson Drake, personally. Um, from what I've seen of him, I'm a big fan of him. And they did a I believe he team was Swipe Right. They did a 6-man tag. I saw a lot of clips of that. I believe maybe Cappuccino Jones was involved. Man we discussed earlier. Um, and I like what I saw. I'll have to go and check out Evolve. I recommend that some people go do the same. If you really want to know about these guys, because they'll still be showing up at your local indies. They'll still be showing up all around wherever they get booked, they're going. So I mean, I definitely think that it's going to be. I feel like it's going to be good for the
Here's my key factor is
good.
it really going to benefit the entire indie scene, or just is it certain guys or certain girls that are getting picked for this, and then this is just going to be kind of a deal where we go through right now? This is just kind of a fad, or is it going to be where we can get discovered? Because I can tell you right now, and I'm not, like I said, I'm not saying this to downgrade anybody or anything. We got Ray Fury, we got Vladimir Koloff in this area, and those are two guys that. And I'm just gonna say, this, Vladimir Koloff's got the it factor. He can go. He can talk. He can do it all. You got Ray Fury, very entertaining, very good in the ring, can go, can talk. These guys should be. I see a lot of these people that are picked to do stuff like when they did AEW Dark. It was mostly, and excuse my language here, it was a circle jerk. You had to know somebody to get into that. Like, if you didn't know anybody that was on the roster, I mean, and let's just go ahead and say what it was. AEW Dark was just, they just ran through the independent wrestlers, and made them look like fools so that they could put their guys up. In a sense, they jobbed out anybody that went on there from the independent scene, and most of the independent wrestlers were, oh, we're going to get on AEW, but you know, who came off of AEW Dark outside Fuego, who's no longer there either, and Fuego was an exceptional talent.
Um, I definitely see where you're coming from. I definitely do. I can see both sides of the argument. I mean, there's been a lot of discourse about how it kind of the culture has changed. I will say a lot of the culture has changed. And you're old enough to remember this. I've you know I am kind of old enough to remember this. Um, Back in the day, I mean, you couldn't mention WWE at an indie show without people would hate it. You know, you go to any of the shows with that indie culture, they hated any mention of WWE. But now the vibe at indie shows towards WWE being treated as a good thing is has kind of changed. You know what I mean?
Well, the thing
And
is this is like, people were on the independent scene busting their butts, no shot at WWE because the WWE's never looked at really independent talent. They picked up maybe Kevin Owens, Sami Zayn were a couple that really made it from the independent scene, but then you had your Baron Corbins who were athletes that got into NXT back when it first started. Here's my thing. WWE's never really been independent wrestling friendly. That's not where they get people are like, well, the cream of the crop comes from the independent scene. No, it really don't. It really doesn't. WWE's always looking for athletes. They're not going around to independent wrestling shows and, oh, well, we're going to get this and we're going to get that. No, or we're scouting. Buy a ticket to the seminar. We're scouting, but yet nobody ever hears nothing from them.
so let me get your opinion on something since you're going down that road right now. So you don't so just out of curiosity, let's take for example, and feel free to speak your mind on this. Um, Cappuccino Jones versus Eddie Martinez this coming Saturday night or Friday night,
Friday
excuse me,
night, Friday afternoon. Yeah,
Friday afternoon. So you tell me, since Cappuccino Jones is a WWE ID talent, do you think that Eddie wrestling Cappuccino Jones, do you think that could help get WWE eyes on Eddie Martinez? Yes or no?
I believe yes and no at the same time. I believe it'll get the eyes on Eddie, but do I think that they're going to make a move for Eddie? Like, I don't know how this WWE ID thing works. If it works anything like independent wrestling and WWE has in the past, I don't have much faith in it. And I'm not saying that, I don't enjoy some of what WWE does, but like Christian Casanova, I interviewed him on King of Wrestling podcast a week before he signed with WWE. Everybody knows him as Carmelo Hayes. That is one of the top guys that I know that has succeeded from the independent wrestling scene.
I did
Anthony
not
Green,
know. I did not know that you interviewed Carmelo.
yes, he signed. He was already signed with WWE at the time, or NXT, whatever to do with it, but he could not announce it until it was official. And he came on. I was the last interview, and
Wow.
but anyway, Anthony Green, another independent talent, signs with them, is there for a very short period of time, he's gone. But you see more athletes, them put more investment into athletes. Now, I'm not saying that they won't get eyes on Eddie Martinez. Eddie Martinez may even get a shot. But will he really get one? Because, I mean, is the WWE now different from what it was 8 or 9 years ago as far as independent wrestlers go? Because, I mean, they see an athlete come. I know Vincent McMahon's not there no more, but they see an athlete come along and they invest more into a person that's never even took a bump in wrestling over a person that's been doing it for years on the independent scene.
I definitely see where you're coming from on that. So if I'm understanding you 100%, you think that while they are doing this and they're doing all this stuff, like from what I'm gathering from what you're saying, they just pick the guys that they want, and that's pretty much it.
And I'm gonna say this in my sense of what I'm meaning by that. They pick the guys that they want. Is they're not picking the best guys. Like, what's the word I'm looking for? Like, let's just say we'll use Eddie as an example because I've been around Eddie many times. Great guy, great talent, good talent. I mean, you could put him on a TV product any day of the week. He's got good looking guy. He's got TV. He's TV ready. He looks just like $1 million. Okay, but does Eddie know anybody in the higher ups? That's the key. That's my thing is like they pick guys that know somebody. It's like that. It's like when you go to a job interview and you got a recommendation from somebody that already works at that place, and then you got somebody that comes in that does not know anybody there. Who do you think they're going to base their bet on at that point? They're going to base the bet on the person that works there that recommended this person. So he gets the job. That's the kind of deal I'm thinking about. It's like, because I think if you put Vladimir Koloff in there with 90% of these WWE IDs, and yeah, I said 90%, um, he could outshine every one of them. But some of them know people. That's just like with AEW. There's a lot of people that had talent on AEW, but they also chose people that knew Jericho or knew the Young Bucks, Chris Jericho. I mean, Cody Rhodes back in the day.
Kenny
It
Omega.
wasn't. It wasn't always the best talent. It was just who you knew. And that's just my opinion. Because I can guarantee you right now, I don't care how pissed off people get at this. Put Vladimir Koloff against just about anybody, I think he'd outshine them, especially on the independent scene. There's people that think they're good, but he puts the work in. I mean, he is 24 hours a day, 7 days a week
Lives and
wrestling.
breathes pro wrestling, huh?
Yes,
Gotcha. Hey,
but
maybe one day you can maybe one day, maybe you can book a show and prove that to us, huh?
yeah, maybe so. You never know. And you know what I'd like to do, and I'm thinking about. I mean, it's really swirling in the brain, picking out some of these hyped guys that got hype behind them, and bringing them in and facing talent that maybe doesn't have the eyes on, and we'll see where it goes. Because a lot of guys, most of them just know how to do moves. They don't know how to tell a story. Get kicked in the face, do a backflip, get right back up. Makes no sense. Because if I kick you in the face, you ain't getting back up. So make it make
Well,
sense and
well,
make it believable.
well, maybe you, but
Well, maybe me, but I'm just saying, if I kick somebody else in the face, maybe they do get up. But you get kicked in the face by 200-pound guy and you're 150, I mean, you're out. So, I
you
mean,
you get kicked in the face by Vladimir Koloff.
oh, I'm losing teeth and everything else. So, but I'm just saying, man, like, it's like people are more worried about. Here, I'm gonna go on a damn rant now. We got to get out of here, but I'm gonna go on one more rant.
Does this make me Brian Last? Are you Cornette right now, or
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Let's go ahead and do that. I'm just gonna say this: people are worried about getting their shit in. They're worried about doing moves. They're worried about this and that. They're worried about popping the boys, but they're not worried about the actual people that pay money to come see them. That's the problem is they don't care about the people that paid money to come see them. They're worried about getting their shit in, doing their moves. And half the time when they want to get their shit in, want to do their moves, it looks shitty. It looks terrible. Why don't you put a match, go into a match, make it make sense, use some psychology instead of doing 20,000 moves in 10 minutes? Because that it just don't make no sense. And half the people can't keep up with that. Yeah, you got your super indie fans that can keep up with it, that will do it, but your normal paying fans don't want to see that.
Well, it's like they always say: you confuse them, you lose them.
Exactly. But that's the problem with the guys that want to do all these spots is that they don't care what the fans want. It's what they want. They're not looking out for the consumer. They're looking out for themselves. And they think, oh, if I can do a 450 splash and do this and do that, WWE's gonna notice. No, they're not. It don't matter what kind of flashy match you have. It's not. It doesn't. They don't care. They don't. It's all about one thing: who you know. At the end of the day, if you don't know nobody, well, you're just going to be still on the independent scene doing the same thing. If you know somebody, you might get a spot on as a jobber on a show. But if you can't bring value to WWE or to any other product, then guess what? You're not going to be there. But anyway, that's enough of my tangent. I will go ahead and say this: if you want to be spotlighted on, you know, here on the weekend preview or any of our other shows or anything like that, go email us your clips. KellyBuckX@gmail.com. We'll try to get you out there. Maybe you can figure out a name because I know people are probably shitting on me right now. They're probably saying this, like,
You getting
what's this little bastard know? Like half
you
people probably don't even know I'm in the business myself.
you're getting angry emails right now. They're typing
Oh
them up right
man, I'm probably getting death threats because
now.
well, have you ever stepped foot in the ring? Yeah, I've been in the ring. Hell, I got my ass whooped in the ring. I mean, I was in a steel cage match where I got beat with a damn belt, kendo stick chair, and everything else. So don't come at me with that. Have you ever took a bump? Because I have. As a matter of fact, both of us have took bumps. We're not just podcasting as fans or this and that. We've been in wrestling. We've done it. So I'm speaking from experience. Do I have any aspirations of making it to the big times? Hell no. Managers are not a big deal in wrestling no more. So the chances of me ever getting to a big stage, I don't care. I enjoy what I do, but I also like things that make sense. Matches that entertain the fans, entertain the people that pay a ticket. You know, we got to get out of here, but I've owned a company. I've wrestled. And no, I didn't put a belt on myself when I owned a company. So I wasn't even the spotlight on my show when I owned the company. The actual talent was. But I've been a manager, I've been a referee, I've done production. You name it, I've done it. Set up rings, set up chairs, run concessions. I've done it. So when you come with your emails, have some facts before you say, have you ever took a bump in the ring? Because I got plenty of footage of me taking bumps in the ring. So if you want to come at me, you want to hate on it, that's fine. But I better not see one email that says, well, you never took a bump. Because then you will get roasted and called out on the show. But you can send your emails all day long to kellybuckx@gmail.com. And if you want to, like, us to show your clips from your wrestling show, we'll do it. Or your match. Or you want us to talk about you on the show, just email us. Send us some stuff to talk about you about. And
You
then if
want to
you
be on
just
Indie Limelight? You want to be on Indie
yeah,
Limelight? Go ahead.
Yeah, if you want to be on Indian Limelight, where we interview independent wrestlers, come on. And if you want to send hate mail, you can. But Nick Hunter, weekend preview, been great. Brought to you by oldglory.com. So go check them out. Use that promo code ATI Wrestling. Well, subscribe to us here on YouTube. Listen to us on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Spreaker, Amazon Music, and Audible, and many, many more. Give us that 5-star rating and review on Apple Podcasts. Nick Hunter, anything you want to say before we get out of here on this beautiful Thursday?
Well, I just want to say that, ladies and gentlemen, go out and support independent wrestling this weekend. I know a lot of you'll probably be supporting the big time and everything like that, but please, if you can spare it. These are hard times that we're living in. These are hard times today. But yeah, these are hard times today, I tell you. But anyway, so these are hard times that we're living in, but if you can spare it, if you have the money, please go out. Please support some of these shows, especially the ones on Friday. They're gonna have some early bell times. You'll be home, at a decent hour. Just go out, support some indie wrestling. Even if we didn't talk about it on this show, go out and support some indie wrestling, uh, and all that good stuff. That's all I got to say for this week.
Yes, support independent wrestling for sure. Nick Hunter, as always, it's a pleasure. And oh, by the way, I forgot. We're moving our Sunday show to Monday afternoons. So you'll be seeing that on Monday afternoons. We'll be talking about that coming up this Monday. Be sure to tune in, see what everything goes on. We're gonna be doing interviews like Tuesday, Wednesday, Friday until the end of April. Check that out. After April, starting in May, we're going to be doing interviews on Tuesdays and Fridays. Monday
Mm-hmm.
and Thursdays Monday will be our Monday show, and Thursday will be the weekend preview, like you've been seeing here.
Mm-hmm.
That will be our
We got shows coming out the wazoo, ladies and gentlemen.
we do, and also while I'm at Crusade Pro this weekend, I'm gonna get a couple of video interviews with some people that in live and in living color. Maybe I'll stick those videos up here and there. Maybe even do a little blog about my trip to Crusade Pro and the debut this weekend. But thank you, Nick Hunter, for tuning in. This has been Weekend Preview, and I hope you enjoyed it. Check out ProWrestlingTees.com around the Indies and get your independent wrestling t-shirt around the Indies. Help support independent wrestling. Nick Hunter, I'll see you Monday.
Yes, sir.